we were able to reach a settlement with Virginia Electric Power, which owns a number of major power plants in Virginia and West Virginia. And the biggest part of the settlement was that they're going to spend about $1.5 billion to reduce their emissions of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides, which flow in on prevailing winds into New York and pollute our air and water. Another part of the settlement, though, in addition to cleaning up their own emissions, was a payment by Virginia Power to try to mitigate to some extent the harm they had already caused. So they provided about $14 million that a number of states would use, and we directed $2 million of that to support solar energy projects on municipal buildings throughout New York.
Basically, this system that's going on this part of the Woodstock Town Hall is a 16.8 kilowatt grid tie solar electric system, in that when the sun is shining on this, it'll make electricity, and the building will utilize that electricity. It's a low profile system, basically designed for mostly summer use to offset air conditioning loads.
The point about photovoltaics that's so exciting is that the more sun there is, the more photovoltaic output, and that corresponds exactly one-to-one with the amount of air conditioning load that is imposed by the sun shining more brightly and the temperatures being hotter.
If there's more electricity than this building is using, then it'll go back out through the town's electric meter on this building, turn the meter backwards, and go out onto the utilities' electric lines and be part of the electricity that's available on their lines.
Net metering is a way for customers who install photovoltaic systems on their homes or businesses to sell their excess power back to the utility. And this makes the photovoltaic systems a bit more economical to operate. It helps customers pay back that initial investment that they've made into the system. It also helps promote photovoltaic systems. And in other words, these systems tend to be expensive, but they are environmentally friendly. And the net metering program is a great way to promote photovoltaic systems and help spread their use throughout our region.
Well, we're here on another beautiful sunny day in the town of Woodstock. Basically, we put in our aluminum frames, which stretch from north to south. This is a ballasted type of framework. It's held down with concrete blocks. We see that the panels are angled at a relatively low angle. That's for maximum protection from any kind of wind exposure, from any kind of uplift. Basically, the process we're using, we pre-build our rails with our clamps or our brackets that are going to hold the panels down. We straighten out a line, straighten up each row, put our panels physically on that row, straighten, level it up horizontally to get a nice straight row so things look good. Once we do that, then we can go ahead and make wiring connections on the panels. We're putting in about 2 rows a day with a little leveling and wiring and everything else. So we're looking at less than a couple weeks to put what amounts to about almost a 17 kilowatt, 17,000 watt electrical system on this roof.
I think the benefit to the town is it's I think going to make people more aware of the pollution problem that energy generation can generate, raise a little consciousness, and hopefully encourage other people to make this kind of investment.
I think a lot of people are looking pretty seriously at solar, where before they were just intrigued. You know, people are actually getting prices from us and trying to figure out how they would do it. Both our offices, both Central Hudson and this NYSERDA outreach office, are getting a tremendous number of calls from homeowners and businesses who are now ready to do something.
NYSERDA, which is the New York State Energy Research and Development Authority, has rebates, very attractive rebates for photovoltaic systems and wind systems. And these rebates increase substantially for systems above 10,000 watts. We're allowing homeowners to install systems up to 15,000 watts. And also, we've expanded it to include wind power, wind generation, and we're allowing small commercial customers to participate in the program as well. Are people getting their money back on their investment? We don't know yet. It's a little too early to tell. Many of these systems have long payback times. But I don't think that economics is the only motivation behind putting solar systems in or renewable systems in. I think people are looking for other reasons, for example, promoting clean air and promoting this clean technology.
What we've done, even if your run-of-the-mill economist has not, is we factored in the pollution costs. That electricity is created by fossil fuels, and they create, if it's coal, a lot of soot and carbon dioxide, and even natural gas creates a lot of carbon dioxide. And this is something that's going to burden us, and it's going to generate other costs that aren't apparent to us now, but which will become more apparent certainly to the next generation.
The hope is that when people come to a municipal building for whatever they need to, they will have the opportunity to learn about solar power, to see how it's helping on their local energy tax bills and thus their tax bills, and might be inspired to do the same in their home system, or perhaps if they run a business at their business.
It's very different knowing it in your mind and seeing it in your streets. Because once you see it in real life, it sinks home that it's not only possible, that it's happening. But one of the most exciting things in our project is we've got a little LED display. When you open the front door to Village Hall, you walk in, there on the wall is a ticker tape that shows how much money our solar panels have saved, how many barrels of oil, how much coal, how much carbon dioxide has not gone into the atmosphere because of the solar panels in the next building over. And that has a really powerful effect on people.
The purpose is not only to offset the energy that we're using in these facilities, but also to create models in very visible places. Thousands of people use this site a year for the pool and for the rec center, particularly the youth. As they come through here and they see a 10-kilowatt system, their eye adjusts to this is what is now normal.
There are about 80 systems online now. About 10 of them are commercial or municipal systems that are either in place or are going to be in place soon. The systems do, on the sunny days, provide a net metering function. In other words, they're feeding electricity back onto the grid.
Well, today is the day we've been waiting for what now? A year and 2 months. This is the day that Central Hudson Gas and Electric and these linemen are going to tie us in to the electrical system of Central Hudson.
Basically, the system at 16.8 kilowatts will feed into 3 4,500 watt inverters and one 2,500 watt inverter. 208 volts, three-phase AC electricity. The inverters use a high voltage DC. It'll range from about 270 to about 350 volts DC in the circuit, and that'll be converted with the inverters into this 208 three-phase.
Yeah, that's doing pretty close.
Right now, we're nearly balancing building load because it's just creeping west-east. It has almost come to a stop. So that means that our solar system very, very nearly is carrying the entire building load at this moment.